Well, howdy, folks. Stan the Human here, and welcome to today's TapQi live event coming to you every month on the 2nd and 22nd. Today being the 22nd, we're having our Tapp-iN 2x2. Why? Because PTSD sucks. And it is completely unnecessary. That's right. It is 2:22 on the 22nd. It's actually Pacific time, not Mountain time. All right. For this month's free Tapp-iN 2x2 PTSD clearing session. Sorry for the delay for those of you that were interrupted by it. But as promised, we are going to cover EFT science and the original thing that won the case that allows this to be called a cure, thought field therapy. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. We're going to tell you what the body parts are, give you the 6 reference words for the discharge statements, all right, your setup statements. We're also going to tell you about the TapQi Life Group and how you can embrace TapQi on a daily and weekly basis. All right, so we're going to be telling you all about the alpha launch that we're doing tonight for this TapQi Life group. All right, we're going to have a special first in offer. There is only one way to have been there from the beginning, right? And so what we do here in the mission, the TapQi Life Group is part of a thing called The Mission, and this is the alpha launch of it. We put you into what is called the firstest class. Okay, that's what this first in offer is about. And so what happens is you get to participate in the creation of our final product, of our course, which is a hell of a lot of fun for you. You get to have influence in that way. You get the best access, and you get the lowest price that we'll ever charge for that. And so, if you embrace this TapQi Life Group now, you're going to save a whole bunch of money. We'll get to that later on here in the video. So I am recording this live. The thing about this is that we're going to take this live recording and then we will do a premiere of it. What this will allow me to do is be on there with you in the chat answering questions. Okay, sorry about the stuff up here that is in the way. Perhaps we can get ourselves a little less distracted here. Sliding the camera over and putting my head in front of the thing. All right, I think that kind of helps a little bit. All right, I just want to be able to sit back and relax and explain this to you guys in a way that you can appreciate. Okay, so TapQi is it's a practice. It's a combination of 7 disciplines. Okay, the 2 pillars are tapping science and the ancient martial art meditation of Qigong. Okay, so in other videos you can learn Qigong from us, the introductions to it. You can get that for free on the 2nd of the month. Now on the 22nd, we do this thing where we're talking about tapping, and we do what is called a Tapp-iN 2x2. It's the same biblical thing, Noah. And what we're doing is we want you to come and deal with your trauma, your pain, getting rid of your trapped suffering, etc., and old scripts. But we want you to then bring another person. And so then next month, each of you brings a different person. So this goes out exponentially 2x2. And this is an important part of this process you know, say you're a medic, try to bring another medic, right? You're a veteran, bring another veteran. If you're a special forces soldier, bring another special forces soldier. If you're a firefighter, a policeman, etc., get past the stigma and find, you know, you'll find that this tool is incredible for clearing all of the traumatic things that you guys face on a daily basis. Now, today we want to concentrate a little more on, you know, all of this trauma that has happened in the patriotic part of our citizenry, watching external forces uh, basically come in and attack our country without attacking us, or in a regular traditional war sort of a thing. And they've attacked us electronically, our elections. That's not a an if you think it is, then get on frankspeech.com and watch the 100% proof of this. You'll be seeing this go to the Supreme Court, etc. It's no longer deniable. There's an electronic footprint, and it happened. And it doesn't matter whether you're a liberal or a conservative. Be patriotic enough to understand that we were attacked. Now, a lot of people have, especially conservatives, right? Like I said, at the point of enough, right? And so one of the things that we have put in our alpha launch of the mission, and that stuff, is a link. Today's video is Glenn Beck really saying in a way that is kind of speaks for us all, his aggravation with how we keep, finding out the truth, but nothing happens. And Americans, especially patriot citizens, are extremely fed up. And so we're going to deal with that in our demonstration tap. But first, I want to go over a little bit about tapping and itself and the method thereof. Okay, so I have a chart here of that I just drew out, of the main tapping points that we'll be dealing with in EFT. This does not have all of the tapping spots. It doesn't have the stuff on the hand. But I'm also going to give you two other tapping points before we get into the EFT. Okay, and so one of these is right here. All right, so if you go to your collarbone and you go out and down an inch, that's the point for EFT. But on the side that has your heart, there's a spot, especially in men, above your heart over here, that is, you'll feel the muscles particularly hard. Okay, when I had my heart attack in a blizzard thing, story that you'll hear about, inside, and of course here in public, that's my opinion. I am not a doctor. Anyway, this spot right here, I gave myself a bruise using it to calm myself. And these breaths that I'm taking right now, they're involuntary. They're the effect of me rubbing this particular spot. Now, let's say you're in a meeting or something, right? Well, all you can do under the table is rub your kneecaps, right? Nobody can see you when you're doing this. This is about all you can do to calm yourself down. You can't just start doing this, while you're in a job interview or something, and you want to rub your entire kneecaps, especially the front. And here's another thing you feel go up your backbone and this relief sort of a thing. So those are two spots that right off the get go you can use to calm yourself down. Okay, now when we're doing, um, okay, let's back up a second. So when Dr. Callahan discovered tapping or TFT, thought field therapy, what happened was he cured this lady that he had been working with for decades, like 25 years or something like that, and they could never solve her fear of water. And they started using tapping points, and within a week she was done. And after they had kind of gotten her over it, within a month she was no longer a patient. And another month later, after applying all of these tapping things to his other patients, he kind of didn't have a practice very, very quickly. So the American Psychiatric Association apparently panicked in seeing that there was something that was just removing the need to do what I call yappy therapy, this long term, see me every week, see me every month for years sort of crap, put you on medication, etc. Tapping was curing people of their ills, of their traumas, of their psychiatric, difficulties. And so this fear that it was going to ruin the industry had made them sue Dr. Callahan. Well, he won. And so what I'm showing you is the only thing in U.S. psychiatric history legally allowed to use the word cure. And that's because of Dr. Callahan winning this case. Then it was studied for 12 years at the University of Florida. One of the main figures in this is a guy named Gary Craig, who is one of the pioneers of, and helped create this sequence of tapping points of TFT that is a kind of a cure-all, and it's called emotional freedom technique, and these are the points on here I'm going to show you in a second. I'll provide you a download picture of this over on Parler at the Stand the Human Parler page, PARLER.com. Okay, ER.com, PARLER.com, and I am of course on there at Stand the Human. Just don't put in the hyphens. Okay, so anyway, and you'll be able to download a photo of this and some other things I'm teaching today. So it was declared a science when after being studied for 12 years. And so this is no frou-frou crap. This is nothing that is untested. I've personally helped hundreds of veterans learn and use this. I have literally never seen it not work when someone actually did the work of tapping. And in a nutshell, I tell people, and have for a long time, you can do 3 minutes of tapping or 30 years of yappy therapy. Your choice, probably going to get the same result. So what's happening here is you have energy stuck on your body. Just like Jesus said in the Bible, the burden of your sins, okay? These are called engrams, stuck energy, whatever, when you dissipate that, when you rid your body of that, you can feel it. You feel clear. You feel that weight gone, that burden of sins lifted from you. Okay? This is and some of the future stuff and the stuff inside the TapQi Life Group, we'll talk about applying things like DSMR, radical forgiveness, and all these other things. But today we just want to get you through the basic EFT cure-all type routine. If this EFT sequence does not work for you, go to tfttapping.com, tfttapping.com, TapQi.com. Get a hold of Mrs. Callahan, okay, and she will measure the perturbations in your thought field, and she will give you a sequence that you could never have guessed in a million years that should get rid of these compound issues. With EFT, we're going to at least attack and destroy as much of that block as possible. Now, I want you to understand, when I talk about veterans, we're talking about guys that have, like I said in the intro video, have firefights in their head. And what tapping does is it removes that color, that emotion, okay, that energy from it, and it gets dissipated. And so even if maybe 100% of that movie isn't gone, it will probably look like a black and white, pen and ink drawing, like that Fix video or something. But when the emotion is gone, when that is out of it, it doesn't control the soldier anymore. And like I said, traumas, PTSD, physical pain, sufferings of the past, problems that you have in romance or relationships right now, you can use tapping and these general things for all of them. Really, it's quite amazing. Okay, so let's go over these points. This, your karate chop point, okay, the bottom of your hand here, all right, is what we use for these setup statements that I was talking about. And the nature of those is, this problem sucks, but, and you describe it a little bit, but I love and accept myself. You do 3 of these, and then you're going to move to this point, all right, which is your eyebrow point. It doesn't matter which side, whether you use one hand or the other or both, okay? If you will put your 3 fingers here, right there, okay? Get that? That's the eyebrow. Now, the side of eye point, the next one, is this bone between your eye socket and your temple, okay? You'll feel that bone right there. Third point is under the eye, which is really the top of the cheekbones at just below the eye socket. Then under nose, right? Your nose point. Doesn't matter which one or both, right? And then chin. Chin is in that cleft in the chin, all right? Now, the collarbone, we talked about that. You find the ball, you go out and down an inch, and you hit that meaty area, okay? Now, under your arm, the bra line, or what I call the man spot, because this is where men hold the most energy, from my experience. That's what we call it, the man spot. And then the top of your head, all right? This is that circle, that spot on the top of your head that forms, when your skull, finishes forming, and so we call that the baby spot, okay? You can hit, dead center or do a circle, whatever. And then you return to the eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, nose, chin, collarbone, man spot, top of the head, eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, nose, chin, collarbone, bra line, top of the head. All right, so 2 or 3 of these circuits is all you need, and you don't repeat this after you do it the 3 times. Now, while you're doing this physical activity, you are also doing these psychological discharge statements. So you're reviewing and bringing up into the thought field one last time this experience, this trauma, okay, this phobia, so that you can let go of that stuck energy, so you can dissipate that stuck energy. And so the whole effect of this, okay, is what you're doing is you're tapping these blocking points, okay, these meridian points in your body. We have machines that can measure quantum flow now. And so we've mapped the body. And ironically, We have these chi lines, we know for a fact now, and invisible channels of where crystalline energy flows, and guess where they are? Exactly where the Chinese have told us for 5,000 years. Right. So it's very, it's parallel to the lymph system. It's parallel to your veins and your nerves. Okay, so this is real. This is a science. Okay, and I just so you know, at 22 minutes and 22 seconds, I'm gonna stop this video and move over to another platform to continue today's presentation. Okay, and to tell you about the TapQi.com, TapQi.com, and this TapQi Life Group, etc. So, map of the body points. See this? Okay. Just basic stuff. This is simple. You don't have to make it complicated. All right. The psychological discharge statements. Remember, you say, I can't stand this thing I'm going through, but I love and honor myself. I can't stand when such and such happens, but I, forgive and accept myself. This whole thing that me and my country are going through, it drives me crazy, and I've had enough of it, but I appreciate and love myself. Okay, this sort of thing. All right. So there's 6 words. We'll get to that over in the session that we do at the beginning of another hour at 2:22, not Pacific time like this was, but we'll be doing it Hawaii time for the rest of this. Okay? So if you don't know what Hawaii time is, you don't know that, here's an opportunity to learn. Anyway, I'm Stan the Human. I love you. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. I am